I started training about a year ago, and boy, did I make a few mistakes. Nothing that I regret because I learned from them, and I'll continue to learn as I make more mistakes, and now I can share them to you. But I want to talk about a big mindset mistake that I made while starting to train, and that is to fail to realize that there's so many levels to fighting. For example, I've been training martial arts for about a year now. 6 of those months were just by myself, so it was horrible training, so I don't even like to count it. And 6 of those months were with the coach where I actually started learning things. So the point is that against a beginner, I would do very well because he doesn't know anything. I know more than him, so yeah. And I've been training for a year. Now, a guy that's been training 2 years would probably dominate me. He's had much more training time, and it also depends on what type of training you've had. You know, how you've been training, the quality of the training, apart from the time. Yesterday, I actually met this guy who's been training for 5 years, and he basically threw me around like a rag doll, and it was really humbling because the main thing that happens when you start training is you forget how many levels there are. And that happens all the time. So yesterday I started boxing with this guy and he killed me. I mean, he did whatever he wanted to me, basically. And you start to remember that no matter how good you think you are, there's somebody out there that can just dominate you. Like that happens. And he humbled me. And it was a great experience because I realized that I was on this train of, yeah, I mean, I'm getting good now, and I've been training for a year, and I'm becoming a much better fighter. And although it's great to have that confidence, and it's true, I am becoming a much better fighter, and I'm proud of my progress, I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So I've just gotten this hunger from yesterday, from being, fucked up like that. I've gotten this hunger for wanting to improve. And the more I train, the more I progress in this journey, I realize that what Einstein said, the more I know, no, he said, the only thing I know is that I know nothing at all. And it's so true. Because when I was like training for 3 months, literally just hitting the bag, I didn't have a coach, I didn't have any guidance, I was doing everything you could possibly imagine wrong. Sparring bad, everything. I don't even want to talk about it. I thought I was the king of the world. I was like, yeah, if somebody comes up to me on the street, I'm beating the shit out of them. I mean, I'm gonna be like just and thank God I didn't get in a street fight because I probably would have been fucked up if the guy, was a bit stronger than me, had a bit more experience than me, because I knew nothing. I was 3 months in, I didn't have any good coaching, I knew nothing. And that goes to the white belt mentality. If you haven't heard of that, it's basically even black belts in jiu-jitsu have a white belt mentality to where they're always trying to learn something new. They never have the ego of saying, I know everything, there's nothing else to learn, because there always is something else to learn, especially in martial arts. And you're always learning, you're always asking questions, you're always being curious, always being humble. And I think you get this mindset once you start progressing in martial arts and once you start meeting people that are echelons above where you are. Because when you're 3 months in, you're, sparring with other beginners, and if you beat them, you might get your ego up. But is when you start meeting more people and like really high level fighters, you realize that you're nowhere near where they are. So that makes you curious. It makes you want to ask questions. It gives you the motivation to want to get to their level. And as always in martial arts, what I found is that every single concept translates to life outside of the gym. If you want to learn anything, if you want to get good at anything, like sales, cooking, becoming a better barber, you have to have the white belt mentality. You have to have the mentality of, I don't care how long I've been doing this, I want to seek more and more knowledge, and I want to be curious, and I want to seek it from people that are higher up than me. And I never want to think that I have it all down, that I'm the best. And there's a fine line that I'm still trying to find between having good ego and having the ego of a champion, and that you're the best and that you can achieve anything, and realizing that you're not the best. And chances are you'll never be the number one best at anything you do because there's always more to do. So there's a fine line between those two that I'm still trying to find myself, and I think it's an ongoing process. But yeah, for any beginners, for any people getting into martial arts, I basically just wanted to make this video to let you know about the mistake that I made of not starting off with that white belt mindset. Lower your ego. It's not bad to be confident, but lower your ego. Understand that there's so much more to learn and be happy about it, because that's the beautiful thing about learning something, that you never stop. It's not like a task. Don't think of it as, oh, I have to learn more, I'll never be good. Think about it as you have infinite potential to increase your skill. And by the way, this still happens to me. I don't know if it'll keep happening, but I'm pretty sure it will. It still happens to me that sometimes I forget about how many levels there are to martial arts. And every time I go against somebody better than me, I get humbled, and it's like a reminder of that. So I'm thankful for yesterday. I'm thankful for getting the shit beaten out of me, because it taught me something. And you only learn when you lose. You don't really learn anything when you win. You learn when you lose, when it hurts, because you learn to do better. You learn what you did wrong. When you win, you're too clouded by ego. You're too clouded by the victory. So don't be afraid to lose and have that white belt mentality. See you, bro.